Hello, everybody. It is Monday morning. A little while I am going to drive and pick up the boy, bring him home, and spend some time moving boxes for the business, moving all the bins. I need to dig into some of them and find some things. The watercolor pans that are not out, like the back stock. Some of them don't have magnets on the back, and I found my extra magnets, so I want to make sure that gets done. This past week, we were accepted to be a vendor at Battle of the Clans, which is in August. Getting close to our first show of the season, so it's time to start pushing on that, so you'll see a lot of that. I do need to spend a bunch of time in the garden. Really hoping we're up to that. One of the things I want to do for the garden is I picked up a outdoor like lawn chair thing on the side of the road, and it's broken, and so I think there's going to be some repairing of that to get it out in my garden. One of the ladies I watch on YouTube, Jess from Roots and Refuge, all the English today, right? Suggested that one of the better things you can do for your garden is just to simply take your morning coffee out there and be in the garden, wander around, look at the things. So I think that is going to be one of the primary focuses for my garden this week. It's not too cold, but we are before our last frost date, so I can't plant much out there. And really, I haven't actually got anything in the ground the last 2 years, so it is not in a state that I could do that in. If the thing I have in my head for fixing the chair works, then it will be great, and I'll have a nice 2-seat loungy chair to put in my garden. There's a really shady spot that will be perfect, and then I can maybe even spin out there. So we'll have to try that out. We'll see. Hopefully it will work. I don't have the welding skills to fix the problem, so I'm going to use wood and screws and glue, and we'll see. And if it doesn't work and I'm sitting on it and I fall through, well, it's only like 6 inches, so I probably won't get hurt. If you do know me, you know that I once broke my ankle walking down the stairs. Didn't fall, didn't trip, just continued walking. So, maybe 6 inches is a lot, and this is a bad plan, but we'll see. Crafting goals, I want to start the cross stitch that I am doing in celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States. And I have a cool new hoop holder for that. Like, you don't need to use your hands, it tucks under your leg. So excited to figure that all out. That'll be sometime later today, because I finally finished the shawl last night. It was a lot. It took 4 hours to finish the last row. Yep, you heard me. 4 hours. It was a lot. It's gorgeous. It was a lot. That's why I don't sell any of that. All of that's for me or for gifts, or for just the experience of having made it and learning new techniques. Although, by the time you get to row 58, there weren't a lot of new techniques. All right, I am going to let you go, and I will chat with you later. Good morning. It is actually not morning. It's like Thursday at noon. So yesterday was very, very busy. I wasn't feeling well. I ate stupid things way too late at night, and that kind of killed my morning for Wednesday, which is unfortunate because I had things to do. My parents are having a whole bunch of stuff done at their house, new windows, new siding, all of that stuff. And they have a little tiny doggy named Archie. And Archie is pretty certain that all humans on the planet are there for the sole purpose of petting him. Like, he's a barker, but he really just wants you to come and give him all the pets. So I was going to go down and take my mom and the dog off to go do something else while the guys were doing the windows on the house. And I wasn't available to do that because, I was stupid and not feeling well. Apparently he did really well. Luckily, the men doing the install thought he was cute. So he got a little bit of pets, and then they got on with their day. They did an absolutely wonderful job. I did go down once I, got up and moving. It looks great. My parents are so happy with it. you know, their front window's been kind of foggy for years, and you think there's nothing you can do, and then you call somebody in and you spend stupid amounts of money, and amazingly you can see out your front window again. Well, you know, you don't know what's available until you know what's available. But it looks really, really good. I'm really excited for the changes for them. Little Archie is like, I can see all the things, and so I helped bring all of their plants back into the house. Mom had them outside overnight. The plants were not happy about any of these changes, but they have a nice new picture window to sit in the front room, and you know, that was kind of neat. And you know, I get all my pets from Archie. I'm not really a dog person, but I really like other people's dogs because you can like pet them and play with them, and you don't have any responsibility for them. Then I went to my friend who comes up on Wednesdays. We had arranged for her to not. I would just pick her up on the way because she lives much closer to my parents than she lives to me. And her car was ready, so I drove her to the mechanic to pick up their other car, and then followed her back to her house. We went to hobby store on our way back to get all of the embroidery floss for my project. So I am going to show you the picture here. So it's this, which my friend spent a lot of time digitizing because the kit, when my parents bought it, didn't actually come with anything. That's not true. It came with floss, and it came with this piece of cloth. Oh, that's upside down. This piece of cloth, and this is the only bit of patterning. So if I were to stitch that, it would not produce the work that I want. It would produce something. It does say that this is washable, so I can wash this and get that out and use it for something else. And the floss is good for other projects too. One of the problems was the image on the front had the wrong number of stars. So my friend spent a long time redesigning everything. It also had leaves in both of the eagle's claws instead of the arrows. So when I actually do the stitching, this is going to be awkward. When I actually do the stitching, I'm going to extend the blue section of the flag down to the 4 thread stripe, like covering over the top of it, which is more accurate to the flag. And I'm going to extend it out so it covers about a third of the top row there. We got all of the floss for that project. In the program, she was using assigned random colors, and there was some issue, so it was a lot more choosing what we wanted. This is in no way a kit anymore. That's okay. We're gonna make it work. So I'm all set up and ready to start that. And I wanted to show you the current shawl. This is the Knitting Challenge shawl for the Waukesha County Fair this year. It's Lisa's Garden Shawl. And it's a fairly large shawl. Let's see if there was definitely a good picture here. It's a fairly large shawl. And it changes shape partway through. It is 133 rows. I am on row 33, so I've got quite a ways to go. I am using I'll try to put it in the notes. It is part wool, part cashmere. I think there's a little nylon in there too, but I'm not sure. But it's an Emma's yarn that I've had in my stash for just forever. I don't have any idea where I got it from. But it's really, really nice and really, really soft. And this pattern also has no rhythm, in my opinion. So I am not really enjoying this one either. And the other one had the benefit of just being really, really beautiful. So wanting the finished object was pushing me through. What is pushing me through this one is it's a gift for my daughter. So she loves pink. She loves flowers. She will wear a shawl. That's pretty close to the true color, actually. So hopefully she will love it. And, you know, sometimes you really enjoy the project you're working on, and sometimes it's like, well, I really want the finished thing. So we're there. I agreed to participate in the contest, so I will participate in the contest. which my daughter will appreciate too, because she's kind of competitive. All right, let's see, what else are we doing? We worked on the chair for the garden. That did not go well. I snapped a drill bit. I'm kind of abusing the drill. It's not really supposed to do this, but and I got some epoxy to epoxy the cross piece in. I still would like to drill in. As soon as I get that cross piece done, I'm going to reattach the, they're not really slats, but they're kind of, they serve the purpose of slats across the chair, and I'm going to reinforce it with a rope binding. And then the chair should be ready to go out in the garden, and I can go and sit and have my morning coffee. Hopefully that will get me out in the garden more and get everything planted and blooming. It is full of living things right now, and maybe we'll take a walk out there later. So it is Friday. It is 1 p.m. I am very annoyed with myself. I was all excited. I started the cross stitch last night, and I got pretty far, I think. It's huge, so it doesn't look like much, but I decided, rather than eating lunch right when I came home, that I'd sit down and work a little while. This was a bad idea. I should have gone and had some food, and protein, blood sugar, all of those things. Because I can't count to 7. Oh wait, I can count to 7, but I was supposed to count to 6. And I did a whole row in the wrong place. So I'm gonna take a whole row out. I stopped and made myself a salad for lunch and ate that, and then looked at the pattern for a while. I'm like, well, I could maybe cut these out and move this here and do that. I can't. I mean, I can, but I don't think that it's a good idea. And like, this is only my 2.5 crochet project ever. When I was in high school, 2 of my friends have been dating for forever, and I really wanted to do this beautiful pattern. It had flowers and fancy flurry things, and it had 1 Corinthians on it, which wasn't super appropriate for either of them. I just kind of really liked the pattern and got all excited, and my grandmother got me this stuff and showed me what to do. And I got a little ways into it. That was a lot of work. And I was 16, maybe. And so I stopped working on it, and they broke up. A little while later, another set of friends said that they were going to get married. So I started working on it again. And they broke up. So I gave it back to my grandmother and said, I can't finish this. It's just not for me. She did finish it and gave it to some family member. And then 2 years ago now, Shawl from the 1764, I always screw up the year. I think it's 1764 shepherdess, who does the 15-minute a day, spin of 15 minutes a day. It's not really a podcast. It's a thing on Instagram. She did a camp for a couple of years, and it was kind of a virtual camp, so we could be wherever. And you'd buy a braid in one of her special colorways, and it always had a theme. And that year included a little cross stitch of the motif. So I did that, and that is the only piece I've ever actually finished. So why not do a nearly 2-foot square cross stitch celebrating the 250th anniversary of our country that I'm trying to get done before the middle of July, that I started on the last day of April. Right, so now you understand how I think. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you my mistake, and probably let the camera run for a while so that you can see me unpicking, and maybe I'll include a video of me putting more stitches back in. I really want this piece for myself. I really love the history of American samplers.
Okay, you're probably going to wiggle a lot more than I really want, just because this is not actually a tripod. I cannot for the life of me find where I put the tripod that works with my phone. So just kind of balanced, and I hope it isn't too wobbly. But this whole line is wrong. And unfortunately it's all one string too, so I was making really good progress today. So we're starting right in the center, and the center is the American flag. Really like this stand. Often my hands get too tired doing embroidery, which I'm actually fairly good at, but don't like as much. But I might like more in the stand. So there should have only been 6 stitches in between these two, and I put 7. And it was just a sense of proportion that caught it, because this is 6, so that should be 6. From the moment I noticed that, I was like, oh, please, please, please be wrong. But it was not wrong. All right, I think I'm going to turn the camera off and rip this the rest of the way out and move it up a row. Now, if there is some easier way to do this that one of you who is more experienced, has some experience, knows, I'd be very happy to learn it. So please tell me what I did wrong. So often people say that and they don't really mean it, but I really do.
On a stick kind of tucked into the side of the chair here. So I'm trying not to move my right hand too terribly much so that it doesn't move the camera too terribly much. Unlike all of the other projects I've shown you recently, I'm actually really enjoying this. It's kind of a surprise. Because of all of them, this was the one I wanted the project. I wanted the end goal the most. I saw that and I was like, yeah, I want to participate in this. I want to have something that I made to celebrate this particular special number anniversary of my country. But I am actually really finding this process, when it's going well, very calming, very enter the flow kind of. And given the fact that I've made some rather big mistakes and I had to undo them, and I'm still really enjoying the project, I think that means I'm really enjoying the project. And in this case, the process as well. Kind of almost out of screen. Come down and finish doing the stripes on the edge of the blue, which is where we're at. This will be the field of blue. And then go back in and do, because the stripes kind of, they're like blowing or folding in the wind, so they're going to come up into these spaces a little bit and make it make a little more sense than it does right now. So I think my plan is to finish the red down to the bottom of the hoop and then go back in and fill those in and then pick a new color. There'll be a little bit of the eagle will be visible at the top of my hoop. And it does take a bit longer than I maybe have time for, I'm comfortable with, given the rest of the workload that I know is in front of me. And like, yes, I could take this with me somewhere and work on it, but
this doesn't really feel like a travel project. So in a little while, I'm going to go downstairs. I signed up for an online free class on medieval book manuscript illustration. It's just a four lesson class. And it's not live, which actually I think is better. So it's whenever you can do it, although she did suggest picking a time and sticking with it. So a little later we'll do that. I'm excited about that. I have some gift ideas. So this lovely field of violets is my backyard. And that gigantic mess is my garden. My husband is actually out mowing the lawn right now. So depending on how much gas and energy he has, the violets may die tonight. We're going to go into the garden now. So this was an herb bed. This is horseradish. This garlic mustard, we eat them, so I leave them be for the most part. Chives are everywhere. This is going to be tomatoes this year. Can't even see where the bed is. The flamingo has fallen, but we will fix him. The scarecrow has fallen. We'll figure something out. The raspberries are taking over everything. I don't know what the little purple flower is. I'll get a better picture of it here in a sec. So we have lots more horseradish. The garlic is all in here. So, if you know what this purple flower is, I'd definitely be interested. There seem to be some pink varieties too. Mostly this area doesn't really get a lot of sun, so I'm kind of content to leave it and just have it be pretty and pollinators. We do have some, ooh, that was fast. Some garlic over here too. All right, time to get to work. That's all I got done. I don't have anything more left right now.